We're Mighty Morphin Power Nerds!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mighty Morphin Power Nerds. I'm Ben,
I am Lucky.
and we're Power Nerds. um, and today, we're wrapping up season 2. So, without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. The episode 82, 83, and 84 overall, and in the season, episode 22, 23, and 24, the Ninja Encounter. The kids enjoy a day at the park and make some new friends, Rocky, Aisha, and Adam, who in at win the upcoming ninja competition at the youth center. But Zed has plans of his own for the ninja competitors. We'll read all of them. Rocky, Aisha, and Adam and their teacher, Mr. Anderson, are still trapped. Goldar summons a snake, which slowly slithers around them, and once it gets its grasp upon the teens, it will remove their goodness and free will. Aisha attempts to pick her cuffs with a hairpin and succeeds only to have their escape thwarted. Um, Trying to distract the Rangers from tracking them down, Lord Zed creates Terror Blossom with some flower petals. In addition, he also revives Haxosaurus and Cardigan? Cardatron? Whatever. Final summary for this batch of episodes. Or not, never mind. Tommy, Kimberly, and Billy must figure out how to unfreeze Jason, Zack, and Trini, defeat the Terror Blossom and Hatchosaurus, and save Rocky, Aisha, and Adam before their turn to the dark side, but may have to expose their secret identities to do so. Meanwhile, Bulk and Skull face the challenge of changing baby Jacob's diaper. And that's the episode summaries. Well, um, aim for the Z, they say. Every time. It is so god dang annoying. You Lucky here can attest. It annoys me
Mhm.
every time.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely does.
yeah. Like the summary said, the Rangers' identities are revealed in the stupidest way possible. Billy's having trouble breathing, so they take off his helmet. And instead of A, having Billy teleport to the command center first, B, having Rocky, Aisha, and Adam turn around or leave the cave, or another option, um, just you know, everyone teleport away and send them back. I'm repeating myself. Anyway, rant aside, um, I think it's a stupid way. It had to happen due to episode 27 and 28, but I think it's still stupid.
Mhm.
I think there's multiple better ways of doing that without compromising logic.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, this episode is not nearly as entertaining as anything else in the season. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it's okay. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Um, well, I guess we really don't have much to say. It's just meh. um, Oop, did not mean to hit that button. All right. Sorry. Angel, let's move on to Z-Wave. Episode 86 overall, episode 26 in the season. Angel Grove is hosting its annual triathlon. Rocky, Adam, and Aisha are competing, and the gang prepares to cheer them on. Meanwhile, Bulk and Skull have another harebrained scheme to discover the Power Rangers' identities. They sit in a lake during the triathlon swimming portion and use Bulk's energy output meter to determine which of the swimmers is emitting the most force. Lord Zed decides to combine the energy output meter with Skulk's fishing pole to create Disc Jockey, the Disc Jockey-esque Beamcaster monster. Beamcaster uses the fishing pole to send out evil Zed waves that brainwash everyone, turning Angel Grove citizens into mindless drones that chant "Hail Lord Zed," or in Skull's case, "Hail Lord Fred." Repeatedly, as Beamcaster floods the park with his Z waves, Jason, Trini, and Zack morph to tries to thwart him, but they are hit with the waves as well. Billy invents a frequency reverser to undo the brainwashing effects, but upon teleporting to the park to use it, he and Kimberly are beset by the citizens who damage the machine. Beamcaster uses the opportunity to bring them under his spell. The Z waves then trap Tommy and Aisha, Rocky and Adam. Uh, oh, the Z waves trap Tommy and Aisha. Rocky and Adam arrive to release the danger. To realize the danger, Zordon teleports them to the command center for safety, where Aisha repairs the damaged reverser and uses it to free the Rangers from Beamcaster's spell. The Rangers unite their power weapons to form the Power Blaster and take Beamcaster off the air for good. Man, don't you love when the summaries tell you every little detail about the plot?
Yep.
Um, Again, this is another meh episode, but there is something funny that happens after was it like after the fishing pole's taken? I believe.
It's like directly after.
Um, Bulk points out that he's that Skull's dad's gonna kill him, and Skull tries to drown himself. Not kidding. Every other than that, literally every other point that we could have brought up was brought up in the summary. Oh my, the next summary is the next two-parter because they love doing that. Um, and it's another long one, so everyone buckle in.
I can read if you want.
If you want, yeah, that would, let my voice rest. Do you have the page open?
Yes.
All right. Episode 87 and 87 and 88 overall, episode 27 and 28 in the season, The Power Transfer. Take it away.
Jason, Trini, and Zack have been chosen as the three Angel Grove teens to attend the World Peace Summit to Switzerland. They are delighted to be going, but sad to leave their friends. Before they leave, however, they must complete one final mission to recover the Sword of Light from the deserted city to transfer their powers to three new Rangers. Jason, Trini, and Zack morph one last time, along with the others, and head for the deserted city. Meanwhile, Zed has completed his new war machine, the Chinese dragon-like Serpentera, which he plans to use to destroy the Power Rangers and the world. He too heads for the deserted city, but leaves something behind on Earth, a device to put all of Angel Grove to sleep. Rocky, Adam, and Aisha have transferred to Angel Grove High and are in the middle of their first day when the other students begin to fall asleep. Zordon teleports them out just in time and sends them to destroy the device. They are ambushed by putties who tie them to a tree. At the deserted city, the Rangers search for the Sword of Light but are interrupted by Serpentera. Jason summons the Red Dragon Thunder Zord and Tor, the new Carrier Zord, to hold Zed off while the search continues. They find the sword but have trouble freeing it from the statue.
Whew, that's a long one. You want me to read the part two?
That's only, yeah, please, because that's only part one.
Yeah, I know. Now you know how I feel. Rocky, Adam, and Aisha free themselves and destroy the putties and the sleeping device. Meanwhile, the Rangers release the Sword of Light when Billy links the ring and the statue just as Zed destroys the city. Back at the command center, the Rangers. Oh my god, Discord, do not ping me. The Rangers informed Zordon that Serpentera proved fierce opposition. And Jason, Trini, and Zach announced that they plan to back out from the peace conference as they are needed as Rangers. Zordon tells them that their destiny lies outside of the team now, and they succeeded in their final quest. The Rangers will continue with the new Rangers in their place, and he presents them with the new red, black, and yellow Rangers: Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. Using the Sword of Light, Tommy transfers the powers from Jason, Trini, and Zack, and the new Rangers appear morphed. Zordon thanks Jason, Zack, and Trini for their loyal service and wishes them well before they leave. Meanwhile, Zed returns to Earth with Serpentera to attack. The new team goes out in action and summons the Thunderzords. At first, Serpentera proves to be tough, but it has a flaw. It loses energy very quickly, and Zed is forced to retreat. Back at the command center, the Rangers see Jason, Trini, and Zack off via the viewing globe and celebrate their first victory with Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. Oh my god, the summary is like an hour long. So yeah, the power transfer. Man, they make it, these summaries make it real hard to discuss it, because it just, you know, tells you every last detail.
Yeah.
Okay. For starters, this is the first time we see I think the first time we see them summon the Zords off planet. Which is a milestone.
Yeah. I think so too.
Anyway, sorry, I heard something. Aim for the Z, like always. You know, they just love saying that every time. I don't know. So, okay, we haven't brought it up, but I think this is the perfect point to bring it up. The actors for Trini, Zack, and Jason left the show at this point. They no longer appear. They do appear, but it's always footage from a different episode, or it's from behind and it's a pretty voiceover, because Jason always sounds like he has a cold, like a real bad one. You know? So other than that, man, these episodes are just kind of meh. I'm realizing this. These plots are really good ideas with really execution. I think
Yep.
I think that summarizes it pretty well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there are actually episodes similar to these later on that are a lot better.
Yeah, I bet. Because this
Like
just
not in
seems
Mighty
meh.
Morphin, they're in like later seasons.
Oh, like later seasons.
Mhm.
We'll get to those. We're covering every season. Does that bring us to when is a
Uh,
ranger not a ranger?
I think so. I can read
Yeah.
it if you want
Oh
the
yeah, you
break
choose the
after
real
that.
short one. All right, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna ask to read the next one because I was on the wrong episode, which is that it's a massive like 2 paragraphs.
Yeah. Um, so I'll read this is episode 91 in the overall, episode 31 in the season. When is a ranger not a ranger? Take it away.
When Zor I can't even speak now. When Lord Zed turns Adam's kaleidoscope into the Scatterbrain monster, it attacks Billy, Kimberly, and Tommy, robbing them of their memories as Power Rangers. When Zordon sends Rocky, Adam, and Aisha to help them, Scatterbrain wipes their minds as well, leaving the fate of the Power Rangers and the world in the unlikely hands of Bulk and Skull, who've finally discovered Power Rangers' identity. They trick Scatterbrain into restoring the Rangers' memories, but at the cost of their knowledge of their identities.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the episode. Um, let's see. What do we have for this one? Oh, this one we actually do have some talking points
Yeah,
that
I
the
wrote
summary
them there.
covered.
Seriously.
Yeah, the Rangers' identities are revealed to Bulk and Skull, which it wasn't really even that like much of a point. They kind of just said those geeks are the Rangers, and then like nothing else happened. No confrontation, no nothing. Um, Bulk and Skull save the Rangers, but lose their memories in the process. Yeah. So this episode has the plot of the Scatterbrain, right? That's what it's called, the Scatterbrain monster or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. It scrambles your memory. Uh, and then so they use prisms to reverse it, like the summary said. But is it Rocky? It's Rocky, right? Or is it Adam? Whoever. When they go to Billy's lab to find him, who had
Adam.
Adam. Yes, thank you. Um, in their lab, Adam asks Billy, "Where do you keep your prisms?" I'm like, A, who has like 20 prisms just on hand? And B, he wouldn't remember. You
Yeah,
know,
so how it was described is sort of how I guess how a kaleidoscope works in a sense, is that the Scatterbrain monster will basically take them apart and like split them into a million pieces and then put them all back in like really weird ways to where their memories just like gone.
and here's
That's
my
how they describe it.
question. Why didn't Zed just make it stop at just putting them into a million tiny pieces? It's the fact that it puts them back together that's the problem. Zed, you could have killed the Rangers, right? Is this a crazy idea that he could have just killed the Rangers here and failed?
Yeah, I'm not completely sure if they meant their entire self or just their brain,
Well,
but it still
considering,
would have killed them either way.
yeah, either way, still a loss for Zed because he's kind of stupid. But that brings us to another Met episode or a really good idea with really Met execution, and they love going back to this idea. This brings us back to um the first one in this batch, Rangers Back in Time. Let me get to the episode. Do you want to read this? These are really short. Lucky?
If you
Yeah.
want, we can with the like potters, we can sort of split it, I guess.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll start reading with this one. Um this is episode 99 and 100 overall, episode 39 and 40 in the season, Rangers Back in Time. Lord Zed casts a spell that turns back the hands of time and turns the Rangers into kids. He creates Phantomaire and from a Polaroid camera and which traps them in a photograph. Yep. All right. Your turn, Lucky.
Young Bulk and Skull are on the run with the picture of the Rangers, which is precisely what Lord Zed, Goldar, and the Photomare are after. Alpha 5 is charged with regaining the pictures so that the Rangers will be freed. Once released, they must destroy the monster as well as the Rock of Time that is guarded by a revived Dramal, Oysterizer, and Invincible Flytrap to undo the spell.
Yep. Alright, this episode creates so many problems. In fact, is it this episode or the next episode that concert? No, episode 41, 20, 42, and 43 are contradicted by, or no, Return of the Green Ranger is contradicted by Wild West Rangers. So we'll get
Yeah.
there. So Rangers in time. So the way they turn back time is with a spell that reverses the spin of the globe, which is not how that works at all. I'll give it a pass though, because they could be using magic to turn back time, and the globe going backwards is just a cool way of saying and showing it. And this episode also has to change the timeline because Rocky, Adam, and Aisha are in a class with them as kids.
As
Which
is
they,
Tommy.
yes, and Tommy, which means, which they should have been Zach, Trini, and Jason, but you know, again, they changed the world. Who knows? Again, this episode's really, it's just not that great. Um, man, I'm more meh on this half of the season than I thought I would be. It's just thinking back on it, there's just so many good ideas that they throw away. Oh, well, with that, do you know what that brings us to, Lucky? The wedding. Episode 101, 102, and 103 overall. Episode 41, 42, and 43 in the season. The wedding. Do you want to read first, or do you want me to read first? Hello?
I can.
You can? Alright. Go ahead.
The Rangers are going to Australia just as Lord Zed is recharging. Rita, meanwhile, is back and ready for revenge. She orders her still loyal henchman Finster to make a potion for Lord Zed to make him fall in love with her when he awakens. Alpha 5 misses the Rangers so much that Zordon suggests he take a walk. Finster tampers with Alpha 5's programming, then Finster begins to revive some monsters that will also attend Rita and Zed's wedding. When he returns, he creates havoc for the Rangers by tricking them into going to the Spectre Theater, where a revived Grumblebee, Eye Guy, Soccodolo, Pexter, Rhino Blaster, Saliguana, Snizzard, Robo-Goat, Invincible Flytrap, and Dramal attack them. To the Rangers' horror, they find that they can't escape. They are outnumbered and can't use their powers. That was a lot of monsters to read the names of.
Yeah, and you know, Drummel and Invincible Flytrap make a return 2 episodes in a row. But that brings us to the next part. The Rangers are fighting for their lives with no end in sight. They search desperately for a way out, but find monsters at every turn. Lord Zed awakens from his slumber and asks Rita to marry him. Goldar is very unhappy to say the least, especially when he's charged with planning out the wedding. The Rangers find a way out, and Lord Zed makes Pexter and Rhino Blaster gigantic. Alpha 5 sabotages Zordon while the Rangers are in battle, forcing them to retreat. They teleport out and find themselves back in the Spectre Theater, from which they just escaped. Meanwhile, much to Goldar's dismay, the wedding is about to begin.
I will just correct you real quick. It says Alpha sabotages the Zords.
Oh, I thought it said he does sabotage Zordon, so you know.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So we'll talk about it a little more. I misread. My bad. All right, Lucky, your turn.
Everyone on the moon but Goldar is excited as Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed tie the knot. The Rangers hatch a plan to escape again, but getting past Pexter, Rhino Blaster, and the Z-Putties while Rita and Lord Zed are traveling to Earth to destroy them personally. Goldar sends monsters who pursue the Rangers in an attempt to stop them from reaching the command center. When they finally get there, Billy fixes Alpha 5 and restores Zordon, who reveals that the pursuing monsters are gigantic and attacking the city. The Rangers eventually destroy the monsters, but earn a bickering Zed and Rita's fury. Alpha 5 feels guilty for his actions against the Rangers and Zordon.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the wedding. Um, it's the return of Rita. Yay. Um, man. Uh, oh, so the Rangers go on a trip to Australia, Lucky. Tell us, where are you from, Lucky? What country? Hello?
I'm just being silent because you keep making this joke.
Wow. Anyway, oh, and Balkan Skull mimic koalas. That's funny. It's real fun. You know, it's
Bas-
distra-
Basically, Ben keeps making a joke because I'm from Australia. He
Oh
keeps
yeah,
making a dumb joke.
every time, because it's hilarious. Anyway, yeah, another episode. No, this episode's just a poor idea with poor execution. The best idea in here was the theater thing, but it got so repetitive that, oh, they escaped, they're back. They escaped, they're back. They escaped, they're back. It's just, ugh. All right. I'll read. Uh, I'll read for episode 104, 105, and 106. Excuse me. Episode 44, 45, and 46 in the season. This is Return of the Green Ranger. It's my boy! It's my boy!
He was making this while we were watching it too.
Yeah. Um, the kids ponder a history assignment. What time period? Oh yeah, time. It's a huge theme in this season. Would they have liked to live in? Meanwhile, Rita summons the Wizard of Deception to send the Rangers back in time. There's just one thing that stands in their way: the White Ranger. The wizards cast a spell on Bulk and Skull to obtain some of Tommy's hair to make a clone of the Green Ranger. When they fail, the wizard finds Tommy and puts a putty and has a putty cut off his hair. Oh my god, I cannot read today. And has a putty cut a bit of his hair off. The wizard casts a spell on the hair, and the Green Ranger clone is reborn. Reborn. Whoa, that's a weird choice of words. Unbeknownst to the Rangers, Tommy feels ill because of the spell and goes home to rest. The Green Ranger clone Tom tricks the other Rangers into meeting with him, and the wizard sends them back to the late 18th century, Angel Grove, and the Rangers find themselves trapped, completely powerless. Tommy in total shock when he comes face to face with the evil Green Ranger. I will say one thing. It is they even though it just says the 18th century, it is in the 18th century, but more specifically, it's 1774, right?
Yes.
All right, I just want to put that
Like
there
net
now.
the actual Netflix description for it does specifically say 1774.
hmm We'll talk a little more about that when we're done. And oh, I guess that brings us to the Green and White Ranger engage in battle.
You want me to read it?
Yes, please, so I can rest my voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you start reading this anyway, just because of the last one,
Yeah.
because I knew you would try and do something for that.
What? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead. Read.
Alrighty. The green and white rangers engage in battle. They are perfectly matched until the wizard intervenes and demorphs the white ranger and orders the green ranger to bring back Dragonzord to destroy Angel's Grove.
Continue.
Back in the 18th century Angel Grove, the rest of the rangers are aided by a girl who helps them escape. The wizard shows up and casts a spell on some rats, making them human-sized and unleashing them on Angel Grove. The rangers are horrified at not being able to use their powers and are forced to flee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that brings us to the next part. The Dragonzord is reawakened under the evil influence of the wizard. Tommy is weakened from demorphing and can barely function. The White Tiger Zord is no match for the Dragonzord, while the White Ranger is in such a state. The wizard and the Green Ranger corner him, but Tommy tricks them into revealing the whereabouts of the Rangers. After Zordon says what must be done to free the Rangers, after bringing, I swear to God, Discord. Oh my God, after bringing them back, the Rangers take on the Dragonzord. Tommy can take the Wizard's wand to destroy him and free the clone. Remorseful, Tom sends the Dragonzord back to its resting place for good. After dealing with the problem in the past, Tom decides to remain there, and Tommy heads back to his time. Yay! All right. This episode right here. Um, this episode right here gets contradicted literally next episode we're talking about. So we'll talk about that. But it's my boy. It's the Green Ranger. Or should I say the Teal Ranger? Because there was a lot of weird coloring stuff in this episode. The Green Ranger appeared teal, and the Dragonzord looked blue. And it was not a intentional thing because then there's a couple of shots where it's also green. So unless the green's the error, this episode's just being weird. Um, Hi Tom. um, yeah, so they go to 1774, you know, and Tom's left there. And I bring this up because in the next episode, 110, 110 overall, 111 or 110 and 111 overall, 50 and 51 in the season. Wild West Rangers.
I can
We
read
go.
first if you want, because that's a lot of
Yes.
text that and
Yes.
you just read. The
Mhm. Go ahead.
I will say though,
Mhm.
basically, Tom decided to stay in the past because there was a thing of they can't have two Tommies existing in the same time, so he decided to stay there. The Rangers
Good.
teleport to the command center, but Kimberly ends up going through a time hole. Next thing she knows, she's in the Wild West. Things take an interesting turn, to say the least, when Kimberly meets her friend's respective counterparts. The Rangers finally discover where she is, but have to stop Goldar, Needlenose, who is created from a cactus, and Putties from going through the time hole, only to find themselves outnumbered. To make matters worse, the Rangers are paralyzed before they can prevent them from traveling back in time. The time hole closes so the Rangers can't follow, leaving Kimberly to face Needlenose, Goldar, and the Putties all alone.
Mhm. All right, I'll read this and then we'll talk about how this contradicts literally everything that just happened in the previous episodes. Um, as a last resort, Kimberly teleports to the command center of that era, um, where its era's Zordon gives her what she'll need to face the Needle Nose. If her friend's ancestors can help, there's just one problem: they don't know how to fight. The White Stranger arrives to give the Rangers a hand. All right. So this episode, in the last episode where they're sent to 1774, the explanation they give is they got sent back in time to an era before they met Zordon, meaning they couldn't morph. In this episode, it's 100 years after the last time travel plot. So we're in 1880 this time. And she morphs into the Pink Ranger. What? How? Unless the last episode was lying. Oh, and this brings us to our stupid idea we had. So the White Stranger is Tommy. It looks exactly like Tommy. But so Tom stayed in 1774. What if this is just Tom's great like grandson or something? What if Tom's genes are just really potent and he looks so similar because he's actually related to Tommy? Because he's like in a weird way, Tommy is like great grandson. And Tom's it's a weird
Mhm.
theory. It's just something funny we kept bringing up.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Again, this episode, the novelty of it being in the Wild West gets lost real quick.
Yep.
Like, ugh. But I guess that brings us to our season finale.
I can read
Episode.
it if you
Yep,
want.
I'll just read the episode and title.
Yeah.
Episode 112. In overall, episode 52 in the season, Blue Ranger Gone Bad. Take it away, Lucky.
Billy creates a special project for his art class, which catches the eye of a classmate named Violet, who makes a statue in a perfect likeness of him. Rita casts a spell on it to make it real to take his place while the others are preoccupied with the putties. The Rangers are puzzled by Billy's odd behavior. Tommy suspects that something's up, which forces Rita to send the Z putties and Goldar. Meanwhile, it's the most unlikely source that frees the real Billy as Lord Zed turns a sculpture into Vase Face. Time's running out, and the Rangers don't have their morphers. The other Rangers don't know who is the real Billy. However, Kimberly saves the day by tricking the fake Billy into giving a wrong answer when she asks about a device that the real Billy knows.
This episode was weird. This episode's just weird.
Mhm.
So we have another bad evil Billy for what, the third time now?
Potentially.
Because there's Power Punks, Power Punks. One of the times in I think the end of season one, now, and maybe a couple other times we're forgetting. Uh,
Mm.
Billy is always the one who goes evil. It's him, Tommy, and like I think it was Jason no, not Jason. It was
Kimberly.
Kimberly. Who?
I said Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly. They hold like the record for most amount of times being made evil. It's ridiculous. Um, well, that's it. That's the season. It's really just so meh. It has so many cool ideas. The Rangers are going back in time. They're going to other planets. Got a new Zord. Yet everything just goes by and you don't really think about it. Um yeah, so that's season 2. It's done. But next time we'll be covering not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the show. Next time we're covering the movie. So we'll see you next time. I'm Ben, they're Lucky, and we're the Mighty Morphin Power Nerds. You want to say bye?
Bye.